The 300 Spartans, those who chose death, the greatest army the world had ever seen, an unstoppable force that had crushed kingdoms, burned cities, and brought entire nations to their knees. And against it, just 300 men. This was not a battle, this was a stand. In 480 BC, the Persian King Xerxes I set out to conquer all of Greece. His goal was simple, absolute domination. But in his way stood a narrow pass, Thermopylae. A place where mountains met the sea and where numbers meant nothing. And guarding it was a single man, the Spartan King Leonidas I. Xerxes commanded an army of hundreds of thousands, some say even millions. Warriors from across his vast empire, archers, cavalry, immortals, an army that had never been stopped. The Spartans, only 300. But these were no ordinary soldiers. They were raised from childhood in a brutal system, trained to endure pain, to suppress fear, to obey without question. In Sparta, weakness was not tolerated, and retreat was never taught. You either win or you die. The Persians attacked. Their war drums echoed through the mountains. Their numbers covered the horizon. But there was a problem. Thermopylae was a narrow pass. Only a few could fight at once. The advantage of numbers disappeared. The Spartans raised their shields, locked them together, stood shoulder to shoulder, and formed their legendary defense, the phalanx, a wall of bronze and discipline. Wave after wave, the Persians charged, screaming, pushing, overwhelming. But each time, they were thrown back. Hours passed, days passed, bodies piled up. But the line never broke. The Spartans did not retreat. But wars are not won by strength alone. Sometimes they are lost by betrayal. A Greek man turned against his own people. His name was Ephialtes of Trachis, driven by greed, or perhaps by resentment. He revealed a hidden path to the Persians, a path that led behind the Spartan lines. Now, the Spartans were surrounded. Leonidas knew the truth. There would be no victory here, no escape, no survival. He looked at his men and made a decision that would echo through history. He ordered the other Greek soldiers to retreat. Go, live, tell our story. But he and his 300 Spartans chose to stay, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. This was not suicide, it was sacrifice. For the last time, the Spartans raised their shields. They stood not for survival, but for something greater: honor, duty, legacy. They fought until their final breath. The sky darkened, not with clouds, but with arrows. A Persian soldier once said, "Our arrows will block out the sun." A Spartan replied, "Then we will fight in the shade." One by one, the Spartans fell, but none of them ran. None of them surrendered. None of them broke. The 300 Spartans died, but their story did not. Their stand united the Greek city-states. It showed the world that even the greatest empire could be resisted, and soon after, the Persian advance was stopped. To this day, these words remain: "Stranger, tell Sparta that we lie here, obedient to their laws." This was not just a battle, this was proof of how far a human can go. When fear is gone and only purpose remains,